The MASL would like to welcome you to tonight's broadcast of the Major Arena Soccer League on MASL TV. I'm Peyton Behrens, and thank you for joining us for tonight's home regular season finale for the Tacoma Stars as they play host to the St. Louis Ambush. Now, the Tacoma Stars have everything to play for. St. Louis Ambush come on the road. It's a doubleheader weekend for them as they're here in Tacoma tonight, and they go down to Oceanside to play the San Diego Sockers tomorrow. Luckily for St. Louis, they have a playoff spot clinched. Tacoma Stars, they find themselves just outside of the playoff window. They are trailing the Empire Strikers. They are back by 2 points, and with just 2 games to go, every single minute of MASL play is critical for these Tacoma Stars. The home side has played very well for the Tacoma Stars, a pretty good home record. They were able to notch their first road win just last week against the Empire Strikers. So everything is up in the air. Empire's got 2 games left. Tacoma's got 2 games left. St. Louis, a lot of games in hand and a lot of season to play. 4 games remaining on their schedule. Let's focus on tonight. The Tacoma Stars that need to play well in order to find them into the playoffs is none other than the signing of Frank Tayu, the king of MASL, the all-time point leader. He's been able to notch goals and assists left and right since joining the Tacoma Stars just a mere weeks ago, and here we have him tonight at the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington, and all eyes will be on him. But on the other side of things, the St. Louis Ambush goalkeeper, Paulo Nascimento, is one of the best goalkeepers MASL has to offer. We'll see what that battle looks like between Frank Tayu and Paulo Nascimento. It's a huge matchup tonight for the Tacoma Stars, who have played so well inside the Accesso ShoWare Center, already topping this St. Louis Ambush team earlier this year. Back in January, these two sides had one heck of a showdown that ended up going into a shootout. The Tacoma Stars prevailed, came out on top. Looking back at things now, the Stars would have loved to get 3 points out of that game. Luckily, it was a Nani Mendoza back heel goal with just seconds left in regulation that pushed overtime, and the Stars were able to prevail in the shootout. Tonight, we'll see if the surging St. Louis Ambush are able to keep on their winning ways and stop these Tacoma Stars, or if the Tacoma Stars make one more step in their playoff journey as they chase the Empire Strikers for that final spot in the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. I'm Peyton Behrens. Cole Weaver will be joining me shortly. Stick around. Kickoff is coming up next right here on MASL TV.
Out here in the Pacific Northwest, every jersey is made with care right here at home. Crafted for the Tacoma Stars and teams across the nation. Built to perform on the big stage. I'm proud to wear Prototype Sports, the official uniform supplier of the Tacoma Stars.
Go Stars!
Remember the high school glory days of throwing that touchdown, tattooing a home run, or scoring that game-winning goal? It's time to relive the experience at comebacksports.com. Comeback Sports is the adult sports league with big-time venues, certified refs, video highlights, and post-game grub and drink specials at sponsored bars. Register as a team or individual now. Come back to the glory days. Comebacksports.com. Comebacksports.com.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
Welcome back into the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Behrens, Cole Weaver. Tacoma Stars are hosting the St. Louis Ambush for the second time here this season at the Accesso ShoWare Center. Fans, Mitre is the official game ball supplier of the Major Arena Soccer League. Established in 1817, Mitre is one of the leading soccer brands worldwide and produces some of the best soccer balls in the world. Learn more at mitre.com. Cole, we got a good one on our hands, but Tacoma back against the wall even when it's 0-0 and we haven't even kicked off a ball. They need to score, they need to win, they need to get themselves into the playoff picture.
Yeah, Peyton, we were talking about it pregame. It's always so difficult from a mental point of view when you don't really have it in your own control. You're relying on other results, but Adam Becker's going to set the team up tonight to do what they did the last time they hosted the Ambush. They walked away with a 7-6 win. Stars are going to look to keep it close again this evening and get away with all 3 points.
Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASLsoccer.com to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. Tacoma Stars are wearing retro kits as it is alumni night here for the Tacoma Stars. So they are in their traditional Argyle, a timeless shirt. The St. Louis Ambush are also donning throwback jerseys. It's a fun night here at the ShoWare Center. Cole, do you think you can predict the MASL? If you can, head on over to nxtbets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season. What's your prediction for tonight?
I was waiting for it. This is not professional advice, but I do watch a fair bit of indoor soccer, particularly Stars indoor soccer. Every single time the Stars are at home, it is fireworks. I'm expecting goals. I'm expecting this to be a close affair. Final score, 8-6. Stars with the win.
The Stars are 8-3 at home. St. Louis Ambush come into this one 5-2 away. St. Louis got a doubleheader this week, and they go down to play the San Diego Sockers tomorrow. Tacoma Stars, lone game of the weekend for them before they face off against the Baltimore Blast next week. Tayu gets us kicked off. We are underway. Tacoma is going right to left across your screen there in the white. St. Louis Ambush in the teal jerseys with the black trimming. Cox down the line off a ball from Hansen. Cox into the middle. Nascimento's off his line. Picks that ball up. Riley Yuri was the defender. Nascimento is in a good yellow jersey with the throwback on the goalkeeper kit. He's going to get himself up into the attack. Nascimento looks to strike from the yellow line, and it's blocked by a combination of Beretta and Jamel Cox. Ball bounces into the area. Beretta all over it.
Yeah, so much space for the goalkeeper. Just invited to take that shot on. I'm sure he'll be happy to take a couple of those cracks throughout the game.
Beretta is going to cross the midway stripe. He's going to get himself into the attacking half.
A little bit less eager to continue driving on his weaker left foot with the shot aims for possession.
This is Uzi Tayu, donning the traditional Argyle of the Tacoma Stars. Some of the best kits in all of MASL or professional indoor soccer, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the traditional Argyle. We've had so many specialty kits with the military appreciation.
The UW night, we had the UW night.
I feel like every week there's just a custom kit that's on display.
So much so that Phil Levanco asked me where the Argyle was when I jumped on MASL Monday a few months back. Here's Tyler John into the attack. So hopefully tonight pleases Phil Levanco.
Phil, this one's for you, sir. Already some indecision here. Ball came back to Luis Beretta. Goalkeeper is calling the referee, I believe, is calling a back pass. Beretta is adamantly disagreeing, urging center referee to have a conversation with his fellow official.
And it's Rafael Cox who was trailing that play. That ball was underneath him. Take another look at it here. He thinks that there was a deflection. Rafael Cox was running back at that as if he did not believe that Beretta could pick it up. Beretta then made that decision. It's going to stay with the top of the arc restart. Chaos here early for the Tacoma Stars defense.
You expect anything else?
Michaud over the top of it, lays it off, deflected around, it's pinging, and it's in the goal. Chaos in front of the net. Bouncing off the post, around, off Beretta, and back in. St. Louis has themselves an early 1-0 lead.
About as brutal of a start as you could ask for from the goalkeeper. And in this situation, he's so unlucky. Comes off a deflection, comes off the post. You have no time to react. You're just hoping and praying that the deflections fall your way, and they don't. And really the mistake prior to it, looking back at the replay, as a goalkeeper, you can't really be taking those kind of chances, even if you may think that it's in your hands. And like you mentioned, Jamel Cox was running back to that ball as if he didn't even believe there was a deflection. The referee was never going to follow suit.
21st goal of the season.
The play continues. The Stars trail 1-0.
Here's a turnover. Hansen, yellow line. Goes over for Mendoza. So an unfortunate start for the Tacoma Stars. Back pass leads to a top of the arc restart. Ambush capitalize. Hansen, long ball, looking for Tayu. Frank Tayu and Robert Williamson do battle. Tayu lays off, it falls for Romero. He can't get through the ball. Tayu wins the challenge. Tugba goes down. Romero tries to go inside. Williamson. Good toe poke away. Stars restart.
Yeah, I saw off the ball that Frank Tayu checking into space, and he gave a thumbs up for that attempt. I think he liked the idea. Like to see those two connect throughout the evening.
Raphael Cox. Foul called as Cox tried to run past O'Keefe.
First foul of the night, charged to ambush number 26, Colin O'Keefe.
Raphael Cox has shirt number 20 on tonight, traditionally number 23, but Raphael Cox donning a new number. Trying to break out is Yuri, pulled down by Tyler John, whistle blown immediately. Yuri left grabbing his back.
I think Tyler John's getting away with one here ultimately. It was a pretty blatant pullback, and pretty aggressive at that. On a fast break. You know, if a blue card was shown there, I don't think there would have been too many complaints about it.
Couldn't agree more, Cole. Seen blue cards issued for lesser challenges than that. Stars lucky here to be even strength. Correa goes down in the corner. Whistle's going to get blown.
Top off on ambush number 14, William SK.
Stars maintaining patience, in the buildup. Haven't looked to try and counter. This St. Louis team, they're a fast, quick team. Like to move, like to ping the ball. Stars might try a different approach to tonight's game. Try and unsettle St. Louis.
I really like this press that St. Louis has implemented here. Anytime the ball goes backwards, they're advancing on the play and really forcing the Stars to continue to play backwards or a risky pass.
Caceres couldn't get out of a double team cleanly. This is SK. He swings around for Briggs. Beretta off the wall finds Caceres. Poor touch results in a turnover. John turning, top of the arc. He's taken off his feet. He wanted a whistle, and he finally got it. Had to wait for it. Williamson a little physical there inside the arc. Stars have a dangerous free kick restart. Haven't been great on these so far this season, the Tacoma Stars.
It is important to say that ball was placed just slightly off center, and while it is a marginal difference, it does make all the world of difference. The wall has to be set up differently. Goalkeeper has to be aware.
Caceres, that ball played a little bit behind him. Turnover going out the other way. It's a breakout for Randy Martinez. Martinez, he's got support, and Santana tries to play him off the wall, and Mendoza recovers. This is Santana. Cross ball. Bouncer. Left foot. No. Caceres. Stars can't clear their own lines. Mendoza finally finds Tayu. That trio of Amadi, Santana, and Martinez. Don't know how they didn't score a goal on that breakout.
Stars are lucky, lucky boys. Very dangerous pass there. A square ball from Nani Mendoza behind, I believe it was Caceres at the top of the arc. Just such an unnecessary misplaced pass that forced so much pressure. Like you mentioned, Peyton, they are very lucky to walk away unscathed.
Yuri. Shot, strike, Beretta with a good low save. St. Louis team transitioned so well. By the time Tyler John settled that ball, 4 shirts were already back. Whistle blown, foul top of the arc. Tyler John picks up yet again another foul, and it was Quito who was fouled on top.
And almost in an identical spot to where we saw the mirror from the Stars. We'll see if they perform a little bit better than their counterparts.
Ball played over the left side, crossed over. Briscoe with a chest. Cox up over the top. Tyler John running onto it. Nascimento with a header. It goes straight up. Briscoe got shielded. He couldn't get there. Breakout the other way. It's Torrealba. His shot too high. Off the glass. Settled. This is Michaud. Settled back for Williamson. Torrealba looks around.
Torrealba had a really great opportunity there. Just lost his concentration, got under the ball. You're coached so heavily, keep those low and make the goalkeeper make a save at the very least. We'll be thankful that his side are able to continue recycling possession.
Shot, blocked, deflected. Tyler John takes a touchdown with his thigh. St. Louis has got to like the position they're sitting in. They're up 1-0, but on the season standings right now, sitting currently in 5th, but they have the most games to play left in MASL, including tonight's game. They still have 4 games to complete. They could go out and bag 12 points here and shake up the standings completely.
Yeah, they definitely could, and that's definitely sitting in a fate in your own hands kind of scenario.
Left foot strike, Beretta gets 2 hands on it. Cleans it up on the bounce. Tried to pin it against the glass, fell to the turf, and he pounced on it. This is Correa. Ramos for Rafael Cox. That ball is off the netting. We've reached the media timeout. So far, it's 1-0. An early goal from Torrealba is all the difference. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more first quarter action right after this on MASL TV.
Welcome to Zenith Sports and Techie. I'm Paul Hansen.
And I'm Philip Luns. So what's special about the Techie ball is a size 3, but a weight of a size 5, which would make it challenging and fun to use. Like Paul said, doing practices on your own time.
What I know about this ball is whether you're starting out at age 5, or you're an old fart like me, or a younger fart like Philip. This ball is something that's going to take your ability when you practice with it and then go use a regulation ball. It's going to increase your comfort, increase your technical ability, increase your speed. Welcome to Techie.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League, all the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. It's MASLsoccer.com. Peyton Behrens, Cole Weaver, Tacoma Stars trail the St. Louis Ambush 1-0, and Tacoma, on the in-house stats, have not registered a shot on goal. It's been an easy-going first quarter for Paulo Nascimento.
Yeah, and I think they got off to a relatively decent start. They were moving the ball around well. They created a half chance on the far side with Juice Cox, but that one mistake really just shifts the momentum just at an instant. And ultimately, the Stars haven't quite recovered from it yet. I think the ad break came at a very opportune time for Adam Becker to talk to his team and kind of clear the slate, let them start over again. They've got a little bit less than 6 minutes to level in the first quarter. We'll see if they're able to do so.
third time that these two teams have met so far this season. We've already mentioned Tacoma winning that overtime shootout game at home 7-6. Ball off the glass stays in place somehow magically. But then just in February, the Tacoma Stars did pay a visit to St. Louis at the Family Arena, and St. Louis came out on top with a final score of 8-5. Beretta scoops that ball up after a couple of weird deflections off of Kyle Rivers.
Kyle Rivers made sure to let everybody in the stadium know he headed that ball. No misunderstandings that time.
Hansen dials up one long distance for Tayu. He chests this down. Tries to hit a left foot volley, but couldn't connect it sweetly. Nascimento. SK. Cross court pass. Beretta makes easy work as this funnels off the wall after Cato. Couldn't get a clean shot, clean pass away. Both tonight's jerseys are up for auction. Later on in the night, we will show a QR code on the screen and give you your opportunity to try and scan that QR code and start placing your bids on either team's jerseys. Both the St. Louis Ambush or the Tacoma Stars jerseys are up for bid tonight. That QR code will be shown between the third and the fourth quarter. So make sure that you are tuning in to be able to get your opportunity to bid away. Torrealba. But there's a foul behind the play, and Uzi Tayu is going to see a blue card for his foul on Ryan Cato. Stars are going to go down a man for the time being. Uzi Tayu on his way over to the bench.
Blue card, 2-minute power play against Tacoma, number 70 for holding.
It'll be his 80th career penalty minute. Uzi Tayu heads over for 2.
Yeah, and I was watching that little challenge build up off the ball. You're seeing it here, and I watched Tayu react to it. Arm on the shoulder, the pullback, and the blue card was inevitable. He threw his hands up in disgust, but can't get away with those.
SK in the box, puts one off the post. Correa clears away.
You know, Peyton, I think this could be a really important power play. If they somehow manage to get something out of this, they've been a very dangerous team on the counterattack with the pace that they have. They need a spark. They haven't really been able to get anything put together in the first quarter. If this 4 can hold on, create a half chance, I think that'll really create some momentum leading into the second as the game is still very close.
Here's a ball off the wall, back post!
Commentator's curse.
Amadi doubles the lead for the St. Louis Ambush. Up a man, St. Louis Ambush make quick work of the man-up situation, and it is 2-0 for the St. Louis Ambush.
Yeah, just on the other side, the momentum that could have been built with some positive play, going 2-0 down off of a really silly blue card. This is not the start that Coach Adam Becker would want to have. Ambush lead 2-0.
Stars have been hurt anytime they go down a man. It has not been a pretty season when the Stars are trying to be on the penalty kill. It's unfortunate, and it feels that every blue card the Tacoma Stars have had are easily avoidable mistakes, whether it's too many men on the field, off-ball challenges as such.
Yeah, I fully agree. Avoidable mistakes, they need to be nipped at the bud. Comes down to coaching and team culture. And when you've had so many changes throughout the year with personnel and injuries, it's hard to create that camaraderie and that systematic approach. And those are important things when you talk about a season as long as the MASL.
Correa looks up, scans, finds Tayu. Tayu off the wall, Ramos in the box. That's the target you want to find. Hansen steps on this ball, goes into the bench. It's a much different side that St. Louis is seeing in this Tacoma side since the last time they made the visit to the Pacific Northwest. Here's Tayu, lays off Ramos. But following that game, the Stars won in overtime. The Stars were 5-2-0. Now the Stars sitting in at 9-12-1 and have a slew of different faces across their roster. Yair Romero called for the foul, hands around the waist. But I mean, it is two different sides, and St. Louis can probably say the same thing. So that first matchup here in the Pacific Northwest, Robbie Cristo was one of the best players on the pitch. No, and he is season-ending injury, unavailable for the St. Louis ambush. Our thoughts with Robbie Cristo. Ambush doing just fine, though, as they're in the playoff picture now. Here's Cox. Plays over for Nestor Hernandez. Nascimento off his line. Back for Ramos. Nascimento retreats. Jamel Cox, left foot shot. Nascimento makes the save. Just over a minute to play in the first quarter.
First strike on target. I'm glad that they were able to get something clean, even though it wasn't a very clear-cut opportunity.
Not the opening 15 that Adam Becker wants for his side. Ball hits off the lip of the boards, no one expecting that one. Williamson caught too much of that ball as it skies up into the netting.
You know, I will say, to err on the side of positivity, for how bad the Stars have played in the first 15 minutes here, 2-0 down is nothing in the world of indoor. We've seen larger swings in shorter amounts of time. And so while, yes, they may not have got off to the start they want, hopefully they won't be feeling too discouraged as they know that they can really still turn this game around very quickly.
All the motivation in the world is here with this Tacoma Stars team, with playoffs just around the corner and needing to win to get in. Ramos down the boards, has an open Mendoza in the middle. He didn't opt for it. Goes for the shot. Nascimento made the save. Nani Mendoza frustrated in the middle that ball wasn't played to his feet. He couldn't have been more open.
Yeah, Nani Mendoza made a great run and was just waiting for that cutback. Credit to Mike Ramos. I don't really fault him for taking the strike on. It was a really good strike and it was a good save. But that's exactly what the Stars are going to need to continue to do here in the second quarter. We got 2:50 on the clock as teams look to reset.
We'll step aside, take a quick break. It's Ambush 2, it's Stars 0. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this on MASL TV.
Puyallup Tribe of Indians are stewards of the land and water. We are put here to protect the natural resources of what is now Pierce County and its neighboring areas. Our focus on environmental conservation and education ensures these lands and waters remain healthy for generations to come. The Puyallup Tribe will continue to stand against threats to the well-being of species and communities that call these lands and waters home. Visit us online to learn more.
Remember the high school glory days of throwing that touchdown, tattooing a home run, or scoring that game-winning goal? It's time to relive the experience at comebacksports.com. Comeback Sport is the adult sports league with big-time venues, certified refs, video highlights, and post-game grub and drink specials at sponsor bars. Register as a team or individual now. Come back to the glory days. Comebacksports.com. Comebacksports.com.
The lights are bright and the fans are loud. It's the St. Louis Ambush taking on the Tacoma Stars. Stream it live on maslplus.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again. Make sure to favorite your team to get instant updates on every game. Peyton Barron's Cole Weaver, St. Louis Ambush, have a 2-0 lead on their West Coast two-step. It's their opening game of the doubleheader weekend. Tacoma Stars tonight, the San Diego Sockers tomorrow. It's always a tough road trip when you have to go from the top left northwest corner of the United States down to that bottom side southwest of sunny Southern California. Although beautiful weather day that we have here, Cole, in the Pacific Northwest.
They could have had worse weekends to do it. You know, it's been gorgeous all day. Sun's staying out late. We'll be walking out of the ShoWare Center here, and it's going to be dark out, but
many nights here in Washington, we are thankful that we play this sport indoors as we play throughout the winter. Tonight, not one of those nights. Here's a ball in behind. It's off the glass. Romero gets a foot to the clearance, and it's out of play. That's going to be a restart because it's a defensive clearance into the crowd.
I heard pregame Stars advertising their USL 2 side. Looking forward to seeing some of that action later in the calendar year.
Ball played down. SK couldn't finish. Wide open on the doorstep. I think he's shocked that he missed out on the goal.
Wow, he's still apologizing as he's running back. Just a lapse of concentration from the Stars. It's so simple. Peyton, I was kind of thinking to myself, you know, if I'm in that St. Louis Ambush huddle, am I happy with the actual play of the game? Not the scoreline necessarily, because that's an obvious answer. But they haven't really done anything amazing to deserve the 2-0 scoreline. I'd just say the Stars have been that bad.
I'd agree. I think that St. Louis should be playing much better. They should be finding themselves up maybe 4 or 5. And they are not taking advantage of this struggling Tacoma Stars team.
Right, Stars don't make those 2 silly errors. This game is 0-0. So it's kind of a weird one so far.
Williamson assesses his options. Gates is in behind. Torrealba turnover. Rafael Cox wants to run. He wants to go the other way, trying to go at Williamson. Williamson takes a good angle, forces him to the wall. Nascimento plays that ball off of Kai Briscoe and then scrambles out for it off the deflection. Smart goalkeeping, Cole?
Living dangerously, but it worked out. He'll say it was on purpose.
Mendoza put up a little bit of high pressure. Nascimento had to rush that ball off. Here's Torrealba again. Williamson, he's going to have a crack. Briscoe goes sliding to get in the way. He's going to feel that one tomorrow.
I think you could say that about most challenges Kai Briscoe makes. Does not know how to go in 50%. It's all or nothing.
I would love to know these guys' treatment for any sort of turf burn suffered here at the Accesso ShoWare, because this isn't quite AstroTurf. It's not quite the artificial grass that is seen in outdoor play. Here's a shot deflected. O'Keefe again. Briscoe goes sliding. So what's the cure? What's the remedy for a surface such as this one that's flat, hard, rough, and it's going to rip the skin in a heartbeat?
Yeah. You know, and for all those watching, this turf that you're seeing, it looks like normal turf, but I would call it, if you've ever played in a field house in a university, it's closer to that. You don't have turf beads. And even the little plastic grass leaves are not really that long. It's kind of just a fairly flat surface. So when you do get one of those turf burns, you know, Aquaphor really gritting your teeth in the shower and a nice wrap is probably the only thing you can do. That's why you see all the goalkeepers in full under layers to protect themselves.
Caceres left foot over the top of this, couldn't get past the second man. Esque goes flying past Romero, plays inward for John. John left foot strike well wide, gets his own rebound. Ramos on the first time volley. Waits for this ball off the glass, over his head. Yuri, little heel flick. Ramos battling in a double team. Stars come out with it, Caceres. Tyler John gets over the bench, he's hurting a bit. He's gonna take a seat. Correa for Caceres. Ramos off the wall, Tayu's in the middle, it's the right man. Couldn't finish. Here's Esque on the run. Correa outruns him from across the field, shields it so Beretta can come back for it. That is incredible defending from Adrian Correa.
That's as good as a goal on the other side. He came all the way across. Caceres was out of legs.
Cox with a shot from distance, and it's just wide.
And we're finally starting to see this game heat up a little bit. Quality, I think, starting to come into play as the players are not thinking as much as they're just...
Rafael Cox with a shot, Tayu bouncing ball. The Stars are getting closer and closer to getting back in this game.
Yeah, just to finish my thought there, I think everybody on the field is just starting to react more so than think. That's when you really see these games open up, as it starts to flow a little bit more naturally.
Hansen gets himself in the way of an entry pass. Gates. Overlapping run. Far side, just wide. Martinez. Hernandez now one-on-one with Williamson. Williamson does such a good job at getting his body between the attacker and the ball.
Yeah, positional masterclass. He's done that twice now.
And as big as he is, it's never a physical battle to put himself in front of the ball. It's more of a, excuse me, this is my space and I'm gonna take this now, thank you.
Very, very Rolls-Royce-esque defender. I'd say one of the biggest compliments that you can give to any sort of, I guess, quote, center back type of player. Obviously not quite the same here in indoor.
Logan Jones has a similar game and a similar style. Here's John with a shot. Good save, Nascimento. I think the Stars have missed out on Logan Jones ever since his injury last month.
We wish him the best in his recovery.
Whistle blown, Briscoe was fouled. The Stars want to set. Uzi Tayu wants to go fast. Ambush players in front of the ball. Here's Tyler John's opportunity. That might have gone in on that backside post. Good block that ended up funneling it right to Nascimento. Correa. He and Caceres go back and forth. John. Ramos turns. Ramos again. Ball just rolls too far away. 9 minutes to play here in the first half. John off the wall. Caceres runs onto it. Caceres gets taken to ground. It's a foul called. Stars of the free kick.
Yeah, Ramos was getting harassed on the near side. Asked for a foul multiple times, never got it. And I think the referee was correct in the decisions. And eventually bounced his way out to the captain. Really great job shielding and holding on to possession.
Caceres tried to take a free kick there. He missed just off the post, but the whistle was blown as the wall was backing up. Caceres sets up Cox, who takes a strike. Nascimento had enough coverage for the save. I don't know if it was off him or off the defender. Here come the ambush the other way. Cox with a shove foul. O'Keefe's in the middle asking for a blue card because he was wide open, but Falsane never got the opportunity to play him because Cox just had the early transition foul.
Yeah, and again, such a silly foul. There was no need. Had him pinned against the wall. Yes, there was a man open in the center, but I think they had it covered. Now they're just under unnecessary pressure here. And it all came from just an unforced error.
Williamson with a strike. Rafael Cox wears it to the back. Here's Jamel Cox on the run. Jamel one-on-one with Nascimento. He's past him. It's in for a Stars goal. The deflection from Rafael. The run from Jamel. The Stars get their first of the night.
And Jamel Cox makes up for it on the other end. It's a strong block off the shot from Williamson. The deflection is so kind, and Jamel Cox is the exact person that you want on the end of this. Pays for days, leaves the goalkeeper in the dust, and just walks it through the net like he's walking his dog. Great work to get themselves back in the game. 2-0 becomes 2-1. And we've started to see the momentum here pick up quite a bit.
Seems like that's going to go unassisted in the official stat sheet. I do want to credit Rafael Cox for getting himself in the way of that shot as it then deflected downfield.
I think it was Correa. I want to make sure we get it right. We'll need to see another replay on it. I think Cox was the one on the far side who kind of came off of the rebound, but I do think it was Adrian Correa who was the one ultimately getting his body in the way. And if it is so, yeah, I would totally agree. I want to give him that assist because
it's an effort. It's a hustle play.
Now on ambush number 5, Robert Williamson. Second foul for Williamson.
Hansen's over the top of this free kick. Ball pinging around. The Stars look so much better so far in this second quarter. Things have started to settle in for the Tacoma Stars. Long ball, Beretta looking forward. Mendoza for Ramos. Down the boards, Cato. Tayu with a good sliding challenge. He's clutching his face. I think Cato incidentally came down on top of Uzi Tayu running back. Tayu quick to his feet there, but maybe caught a knee to the forehead. Immediately grabbed his face. Yeah, there's a little bit of legs tangled up in there. Stars quickly on the restart.
Falling momentum. Good to see him okay. No serious injury that came from it.
Jamel Cox wants to go long, looking for Frank Tayu. Romero now, trying to clean up. Tayu in a double team, trying to turn out of it. Nearly got through it. Briscoe on a heavy challenge. Clean deemed by the officials. St. Louis on the breakout. Caceres is trying to track back. And Beretta scoops that up with ease.
Yeah, great work from the captain there. Caceres just pumping those legs and then slowing himself down to avoid that cutback. Really impressive stuff.
Ramos for Tayu. Frank, that is. Overlap. Mike Ramos. Swings for Briscoe. Caceres inside. Tayu trying to turn Williamson. Tayu, Nascimento with a great save. Michaud with a great thigh ball down. Look at the outlet from Nascimento. Runner in behind. Briscoe with a great sliding challenge. This ball gets behind Beretta. Kai Briscoe karate kick clearance to the 50. That was incredible stuff after being on the ground.
Oh, the skills are on display now. Frank Tayu did a great job to collect that ball. Unfortunate for it to bounce out of play.
It's got us to the media timeout. We're going to step aside, take a break. 6:07 to play here in the first half. It's St. Louis 2. It's Tacoma 1. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this on MASL TV.
Out here in the Pacific Northwest, Every jersey is made with care right here at home. Crafted for the Tacoma Stars and teams across the nation. Built to perform on the big stage. I'm proud to wear Prototype Sports, the official uniform supplier of the Tacoma Stars.
Go Stars!
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and CBS Sports Galazo Network. Alex Bashavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. It's MASL Monday. And 10 for 10 is back with an all-star lineup of guests. Join host Eric Bergerd each week as he sits down for 10 minutes with big names from across the soccer world. Find new episodes on MASL TV every Wednesday. It's 10 for 10.
And can confirm it was Rafael Cox, so Peyton, you were correct. We took the quick timeout break there to check the footage, putting his body on the line and letting his brother do the rest of the work.
Now, I know he's not going to get credited for the assist, but I would really like it if we can go into... I'm going to talk to Pete after this game, see if we can credit that as an assist, but there's got to be intent in the pass to go forward.
He knew what he was doing.
He did intend to get in front of that ball, and when you want to get in front of the ball, you want to deflect it going the other way. Barreto with a clearance. Rivers has to go sliding so O'Keefe doesn't win this possession. This is Yuri. Back for O'Keefe. Nascimento, long ball. Uses every inch of the plexiglass boards. Correa gets decleated. Martinez on a great challenge. Strike goes up and over the netting. And a deflection supposedly off Uzi Tayu is the call on the field. No other player, St. Louis or Tacoma aside, thought that should be a corner kick restart.
And the Stars are ready early. The signal is already...
Here's a strike right off the kick.
Like you mentioned, no one was really ready for that. Credit for Chase Hansen to get his team set early.
It was even Chase Hansen who set the ball down on the corner so that the ref would start the count. Beretta taken off of his feet in the corner. Tyler John, he had a little bit of space, but couldn't get the touch to fall the way he wanted it to.
Oh, I wanted him to take that first time. It was at that height where he would have needed to do something pretty special, but he's definitely got it in his locker. I'm a little surprised he went for the touch.
Coming out the other way, Beretta missed out. It's Eske in the middle. Mashad found him wide open. The Stars, a lapse in defense. Beretta had to come off of his line, and it's the easiest goal St. Louis could have thought of at this time of the game.
Yeah, on the replay here, you'll see Chase Hansen assessing his options here as he's basically the last man back, and he elects to hold off and avoid the cutback pass. It forces the goalkeeper, Luis Beretta, to come off his line. Once that happens, it's just a simple tap in. Like you mentioned, Peyton, lapse in concentration defensively. Ambush continue their lead, 3-1.
Mashad has another assist tonight. He had the one on the opener. So far, so good for the 93. Stars trail 2, 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Tayu with a strike. Nascimento easily cleans it. No trouble there. Now Nascimento wants to go on a walk. Hits his long diagonal ball up and over the top looking for Gates. Yuri thought about the full-time effort and he brings it back.
Yes, St. Louis have done a good job in kind of riding the momentum wave that the Stars had when they scored that relatively early goal. I think it's been through a combination of diligent possession and strong defensive work.
Amadi passes off. He has himself a goal tonight. Togba looks for him. Ramos' header goes backwards. Spinning ball into the hands of Luis Beretta. Uzi Tayu passes and goes forward. This is John up ahead. Yair Romero. Tyler John. Uzi Tayu plays a ball to the corner. Nobody around. Nascimento thought to come out for it. Cox fouled O'Keefe up the line. No advantage played. Plays just brought back to the foul. Jamel's second of the night.
And that's one of those moments where just a little bit of disconnect. That's how you played that ball into space, and ultimately it is the right ball. We saw the defender come off his line and create the opportunity behind, but Tyler John wasn't really willing to travel over into the space. Forced the foul.
Correa goes to ground looking for a whistle. Nothing. Here's one. And it's going to be a St. Louis free kick.
No foul. Restart.
Correa might have just got a warning. Whistle was blown, and the conversation was short and sweet, directed at Adrian Correa after he had said some words to the ref. I'm sure they were very carefully chosen words from Adrian Correa.
Kind and thoughtful, I would assume.
This is SK. Caceres reads well to intercept. Turnover, bat spot, Martinez. SK down low, whistle blown. Rafael Cox called for the foul. SK. He had a good ball in for Mario Falsani. But the whistle blown and brought back for the free kick after nothing developed immediately.
As a little bit after the play here, you're going to see Rafael Cox come into the challenge. It's late and it's soft at the same time, but it has to be given.
Shot off the near post. Beretta does a good job getting his legs in the way. Tyler John clears forward. Rafael Cox is on the run, but Mashad's got a good angle to it. Hansen's got himself a little bit of space. He's got Frank Tayu ahead of him if he can find him. Ball toe poked away. Nani Mendoza retreats. Long curling ball forward. Ramos brings it down. Settles it just in front of his defender. Here's a heavy strike from distance. Ball pinging around the Stars. Lucky the ambush didn't pick up a fourth.
Caceres doing his goalkeeper no favors. Just almost a rude back pass. Definitely didn't mean to do it, but forced Beretta into a really good save. He was full stretch on the second, just praying that it wasn't on target, and it wasn't. Stars get away with one.
Closing in on halftime. 20 seconds till we get there. Ambush lead by 2. Under 10 seconds. The Stars look like they have no desire to go towards goal here as the clock runs low. And there it is. That's the final horn. The Stars trail by 2 to the St. Louis ambush. It's 3-1 as we hit the intermission. And the Stars, who are desperately in the need of a win to stay in the hunt for the Ron Newman Cup playoffs, don't have what they need at halftime. It's 3-1 St. Louis leads.
No, they don't have what they need. And, Peyton, I hate to say this, they kind of look like my Chelsea right now. They don't have any creativity in front of goal. They look indecisive when they're in possession. They're moving the ball around without any sort of main purpose. It's tough. It's tough to watch, as this is such a creative, flowing team that has plenty of energy and personality about them, but they're really unable to put anything together and make it happen. Now, the positive side, it's only 3-1. Like we mentioned, the score is still really close. I don't think the Ambush have done all that great of a job themselves. They'll be happy going in at halftime, obviously on the road with the scoreline favoring them, but they're going to have a lot of work to do themselves.
We'll step aside and take a break. Second half action is just around the corner. It's St. Louis 3. It's the Tacoma Stars 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with second half play right here on MASL TV.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
Shoot! He scores!
What's up, soccer fans? Alex Bastiavansky here, back in the MASL studio. Hope everybody had a fantastic week. A lot went down over the past few days in the league, and I'm here to tell you all about it in just 5 minutes. So let's go.
Ends up near side to Serta.
Oh, he's wide open.
Now shot. Goal! Pacheco wins it for the Sockers.
San Diego steals one on the road in KC last weekend, 6-5 in overtime. But they had to do it all over again the next day back on the West Coast. These were two tired teams, and the Comets flipped the script as they were the road warriors this time, taking it 8-6. Rian Marquez had a monster game for KC, potting a hat trick and adding 2 helpers for 5 points. He was named the game's first star. Big news from the Empire Strikers last week. They took on Tacoma on the 12th and did not look especially good, getting doubled up by the Stars 6-3. And then afterwards, they put out a release saying that head coach Onua Obasi would not be behind the bench for their upcoming game against Milwaukee. Instead, they were taking a quote-unquote creative approach, appointing defender Robert Palmer coach for the game. Palmer, a veteran of 12 seasons, is a 2-time MASL Defender of the Year, and no question about it, he has earned his stripes. According to the release, Obasi is still the coach. We will continue to update you as that situation evolves. So with Palmer as player coach, they traveled to Milwaukee, and the move seemed to pay off. As the Empire looked utterly dominant at times in this game, they took down the Wave emphatically 6-3. Palmer recorded an assist, and Alan Perez potted a hat trick for the visitors. The hottest team in the league stayed hot. Baltimore hosted Tacoma on the 14th and ran away with this one 10-4. That's the 8th straight win for the Blast, who started 2026 going 2-5. Phil Ivanko and I had Mello on MASL Monday, and he talked about the team's big turnaround.
But I think too, like, the game is not that we're getting having bad losses. Was like we're always there. We just need to, to tweak a little things here and there. And credit to the coaching staff and, to the team to figure out the pieces together, the mental and tactical aspect, and just put all together. But I mean, we're still trying to get better.
And finally, Utica hosted Tacoma last Sunday, and they picked up a much-needed win. They snapped a 7-game losing streak, taking down the Stars 8-4. Francesco Pagano named the game's first star with 3 points. Okay, your up-to-date scoring leaders, Rian Marquez back on top with 44 points. Alex Sanchez in second with 42. Junior Pinal up to third with 38 points, followed by Super Mario Alvarez with 37. He is tied with Kansas City Comet, Zach Reagan. And your Capelli Players of the Week, here they are. Chris Toth between the posts, Marco Fabian offensively, and on the defensive end of things, Marco Nascimento from the Baltimore Blast. Let's start with Mr. Fabian, the Mexican legend, coming up huge in their win over the Wave. 4 points in the contest, 1 goal, 3 assists. He was named the game's first star. Marco Nascimento, massive game against the Tacoma Stars. He had 2 goals in the game and an exceptional 4 blocks, as well as the Blast took down the Stars. And Chris Toth in goal. Beautiful game against Kansas City. He had 14 saves in the contest and a sparkling .737 save percentage. Okay, time now for your plays of the week.
A ring's a ring, and that's pretty cool as Canali with the touch bashes it off of the wall. The header! What an incredible play for the Tacoma Stars.
Spina through towards goal. Oh, what a pass!
And San Diego immediately came down and scored right after. Oh, what a conversion there. And the Strikers back up by 3, 5-2.
Penal. Well ahead. And here's a chance for Alves. He scores! It is beautifully taken by Gio Alves and rolled into the bottom corner for 2-0. Good play by Belliard to keep it away. Shot. Oh my word! What a missile as Correa puts it home.
They can shape it. Stankovic turned into his left foot. Yes, sir! Clinical and cruel.
Ball by Hobson to free up Nestor. Squid! Put it on the board. It's 5-3.
Ends up near side to Serta.
Oh, he's wide open.
Now shot. Goal! Pacheco wins it for the Suckers. Comets go down.
And that's going to wrap up this week's show. But just a reminder, of course, to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the MASL all throughout the season, be sure to check out the league's official social media outlets. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Out here in the Pacific Northwest, every jersey is made with care right here at home. Crafted for the Tacoma Stars and teams across the nation. Built to perform on the big stage. I'm proud to wear Prototype Sports, the official uniform supplier of the Tacoma Stars.
Go Stars!
Welcome to Zenith Sports and Techie. I'm Paul Hansen.
And I'm Philip Luns. So what's special about the Techie ball is a size 3, but a weight of a size 5, which would make it challenging and fun to use. Like Paul said, doing practices on your own time.
What I know about this ball is whether you're starting out at age 5, or you're an old fart like me, or a younger fart like Philip. This ball is something that's going to take your ability when you practice with it and then go use a regulation ball. It's going to increase your comfort, increase your technical ability, increase your speed. Welcome to Techie.
Remember the high school glory days of throwing that touchdown, tattooing a home run, or scoring that game-winning goal? It's time to relive the experience at comebacksports.com. Comeback Sport is the adult sports league with big-time venues, certified refs, video highlights, and post-game grub and drink specials at sponsor bars. Register as a team or individual now. Come back to the glory days. Comebacksports.com. comebacksports.com.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians are stewards of the land and water. We are put here to protect the natural resources of what is now Pierce County and its neighboring areas. Our focus on environmental conservation and education ensures these lands and waters remain healthy for generations to come. The Puyallup Tribe will continue to stand against threats to the well-being of species and communities that call these lands and waters home. Visit us online to learn more.
Experience to Tacoma after a terrific career in Inland with clubs including Tottenham Hotspur, Millwall, Fulham, and Stoke City. After starting with the Seattle Sounders, he joined the Tacoma Stars in the early years of the MASL and added leadership, toughness, and a veteran class to the back line. Both sides of the Atlantic. Tonight, fans, we honor Tacoma Stars veteran Ray Evans. And now entering the field,
Welcome back into the accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's, Cole Weaver, the Tacoma Stars celebrating Alumni Night here, honoring all sorts of different players from the past 5 decades of Tacoma Stars soccer. And it's great to see all the legends out on the field, some from the modern day era and some from the very first team that the Tacoma Stars were able to put together. It's great stuff here at the ShoWare Center in Kent. Peyton Barron's, Cole Weaver, the Tacoma Stars currently trailed the St. Louis Ambush 3-1, and kind of up and down for the Tacoma Stars, Cole. First quarter, horrific, terrible, couldn't do anything great. Luckily, they got out of it just down 2-0. They ended up getting a goal there in the second quarter. They gave up a goal in the second quarter. They looked pretty decent. They had their moments of doubt, like giving up that goal. It was a defensive collapse on the back end. But what do you think from the first half of that team? Do the Tacoma Stars have a chance to be able to bounce back, or do you think that that same first half abilities are going to continue into the second 30 minutes for Tacoma?
You know, I absolutely do think they have the ability to continue this comeback. We've seen it time and time again here at the ShoWare. They have this unique ability at home. After halftime, whatever Adam Becker says, and, you know, I know him pretty well personally, I can guarantee he's ripping into him, right? He's going to make his message known, and these players have reacted to that many times. So if I take a good look back at the first half, those first 2 goals, neither one of them really should have happened. Yes, they did, but they were all really silly errors from the home side. You remove those, it's 1-1, and we have a game on our hands. So I really do think that the Stars have a way back in the second half.
So knowing Adam Becker the way that you do, here's my first thought. Is he a clipboard thrower, a water bottle kicker, maybe a chair tosser? What's going on in that locker room right now outside of the team talk?
You know, none of the above. He's more of one of those intense, fiery. He can get loud, but when he's real, it's a quiet, white hot message, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Right? He's walking into there, and there's maybe some sharp words, and you can tell by the tone that he's serious. And I think that, personally, I like that kind of approach from a coach. If a coach walks in throwing stuff around, banging on things, you know, it's kind of defeating the purpose of getting the message across, because then your head is out the window, versus the cool, calm, level-headed, but very serious approach. I really appreciate that, and that's what I would anticipate Adam Becker's doing in the locker room right now.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. Fans here got the flashlights out, trying to get everything ready for the second half. Fans are doing their part. We got a great crowd here at the ShoWare Center tonight. Hopefully the second half action can live up to the hype. Tacoma Stars trailing by 2. Is there an individual player that you're looking to excel, to see go above and beyond in what they are able to do in order to get the Stars back in on this?
You know, I thought about calling him out a couple times in the first half, but Yayi Romero's caught my eye every time he's been on the ball. He's been one of the few that's had a lot of energy about him, both in possession and defensively. So he's kind of my dark horse tonight. I think he's going to have an important role to play here in the second half.
Somebody who I didn't love the minutes that they got in that first half, and I hope to see a turnaround, a change in their play, is Nani Mendoza. I don't think Nani Mendoza was dangerous enough. You said it. The Tacoma Stars had a couple of guys who maybe looked a little stale. There was no creativity in the build-up, in the movement. Nani Mendoza is a guy who is creative, and he did not show it at all in the first half. I think that this team should be looking to set up Nani Mendoza to help them out later on in the second half.
Yeah, anytime he was on the ball, he was in that outer perimeter working on the possession, and I kind of made a corny joke there before halftime that they looked a lot like my Chelsea Blues, where they just pretty, inept in front of goal, and they didn't really have any sort of direct pathway through, and Mendoza can be a key part of that. So yeah, I wouldn't disagree at all. I think he's going to be an important role as well.
Tacoma Stars getting ready to get back out on the field. St. Louis already back out on the field. St. Louis has to turn things around and board a flight, go down and play the San Diego Sockers tomorrow, so they got that in the back of their mind. Tacoma Stars got this as their lone game of the weekend before going out and playing the Baltimore Blast next week. Baltimore Blast today fell to the Kansas City Comets. So Kansas City jumps up into a tie for second place. Granted, San Diego's got a game in hand on them. Three-way tie with 38 points right now. Baltimore being the lone team atop with 39. So much to play for here in MASL in these last few days of the season. Clayson De Lima replaces Luis Beretta to start the second half. Maybe a more attacking option goalkeeper. Is that what you're expecting, Cole?
Yeah, potentially. We've seen him come forward with the ball. He's been bright when he's had his opportunity for minutes. Made good saves, good distribution, clean decision-making. Luis Beretta had a little bit of a tough first half. Didn't start, obviously, how we might have wanted. That's the life of a goalkeeper, and he'll wish the best for his compatriot as they look to claw their way back from this 3-1 deficit.
And when you have a battery like De Lima and Beretta, it's almost like a no-lose situation. You can use either goalkeeper at any time, and the team has that sort of confidence. Cole, I'm sure you've been in a goalkeeping room where both goalkeepers are good enough to be number ones. What's that like for those 2 or 3 players in that goalkeeping room?
Yeah, it's a really special thing, and I hold my thoughts as Stars are working their way out of this, but no, the goalkeeper union's a real thing, and I've been fortunate enough to be a part of many of those committees as a number 1, as a number 2, as a number 3, and as a number 4 in some instances. And across the board there, it all comes down to the training routine that you have and the relationship, and you always want to see them do well, and there's always that competitive edge, and that's why I think the skill really comes out is you're constantly pushed every practice, every game, and you don't perform, you get replaced. That's kind of what we saw here today.
John in the corner off the short side boards, had 2 crashers, just couldn't get there. SK is going to clear this ball away. But I think because that ball bounces off the wall, it's not a defensive clearance to go to a top-of-the-arc restart. So it's going to be out of bounds just in front of the St. Louis bench. Correa, top of your screen. Stars wearing the all-white classic Argyle shirts. St. Louis in the teal with the black trim. Talk about how you can go home with one of these jerseys later on in the broadcast. Correa pings this ball off the wall, takes a funky bounce and ends up into the netting over the top of the plexiglass. Nascimento trying to outpace Tyler John. Tyler John with a good challenge. He's left in the dust, though, after the play. Jamel Cox going forward. John still on the ground. Amadi with a shot. De Lima with a great stop. Tyler John's going to limp his way over to the bench. He clears out space. Rafael Cox is going forward. Frank Tayu gets on the field for the hurt Tyler John.
Yeah, it's the last thing the Stars want to see. I think his ankle got caught in the challenge there with Nascimento. He was nursing that injury earlier in the season. We'll keep tabs on him.
Cox curling ball up the wall. Finds Frank Tayu. Tayu left foot ball into the area. Uzi trying to crash onto it. Nascimento out. O'Keefe ahead. He's got support to his left in Amadi. O'Keefe, it's a 2-on-0. Clayson De Lima with an incredible save. Second time effort again. Third time. Amadi can't finish. The Stars get away with one. How incredible was that?
Wow. I am speechless. I was watching De Lima that entire time. The play's not done yet. He wants it in his hands and he can't get it.
Oh my goodness. Tayu turning. Tayu's got space ahead. Tayu sheds off bodies. It's going to be a blue card on Riley Uri. Without a doubt.
Here we go, Peyton. This is what we were expecting to see here at the ShoWare. And my word, De Lima, take a bow, son. I was watching his positioning, and as a goalkeeper, when you know you're one-on-one, you have no defensive help, you have to make the decision of, do I stay or do I go? And what I mean by that is, does he hold his ground and continue to back off, or does he step up to the play and try and win the challenge? He opts to step back.
2-minute blue card power play against St. Louis, number 66 for tripping.
As we hear the blue card being announced.
And I'm shocked that that's on Togba instead of Uri, because I thought Uri was in pulling Frank Tayu down more.
He was kind of sandwiched as he was trying to wiggle his way through, but just to give De Lima the credit that he deserves, because that was really special stuff. Not only did he make the first save, which was incredible enough on its own, he made the second, which was just as big, if not bigger. Exactly what you want as goalkeeper, being subbed in, and not getting the start.
And right now, De Lima's getting all the way up to the midway stripe to try and add an extra body in for the Tacoma Stars if needed. I don't think he's going to creep all the way forward. But it's a 5-on-4 right now for the Tacoma Stars. Togba is in the sin bin. Gates can't clear his lines.
I don't think I've heard you use that before, the sin bin. I like that.
2 minutes, man. Naughty play. Jamel Cox with a strike. It's just wide. Mendoza with a good touch over to Ramos. 90 seconds remaining in the power play. Ramos inside for Tayu. Couldn't find him. Chip ball. Nearly landed nicely for Tayu on the goal line.
Stars are banging on the door here. Tayu's had a couple nibbles at it. Give him one bite and you'd expect him to take it all.
Mendoza with a strike. Nascimento with a good save. Used his chest. It's like the Man of Steel. Ramos. Stars got plenty of time left on this power play. Here's Tayu. Surely he finishes that 9 times out of 10. And ladies and gentlemen, you just saw the one. Caceres, header across for Ramos. Caceres left foot shot, curler wide. 30 seconds remain in the power play. Stars only have 7 power play goals on the season thus far. Cox lines one up, and there's the 8th. 9 minutes, 26 seconds to play in the third quarter, and Jamel Cox makes the most of the man-up situation. The Tacoma Stars find themselves a goal.
And it just seemed inevitable. The Stars, from the onset, were moving the ball around so well, creating really clean-cut opportunities. And ironically enough, it's the one that's furthest away from Nascimento's goal. Jamel Cox had a shot like this earlier in the power play, didn't make its way through the bodies. This time it did. It beats the goalkeeper, and they work the clock and make that 4. Just burn energy. Great goal. Stars continue to chip away, 3-2.
So Cox has both goals tonight for the Tacoma Stars. Uzi Tayu called for a foul.
Second goal of the night. 15th goal of the season.
Ambush looking to answer back. It's not been a pretty start to the third quarter. Left foot ball, it's off the crossbar. Romero chests it down. He's taken off his feet. He wins a foul. De Lima up the boards. Tyler John back on the field. Good to see for the Tacoma Stars faithful. Romero wants to go at SK. Cuts it back. I think I said this the last time these two teams faced off back here in January. Here's a chip ball over the top. Cox settles. But I love the defensive pressure that St. Louis shows. Anytime a Stars player turns their back to goal, they send a double team. And it's great. It's fantastic. It's discipline, and it's excellent work. Potential handball called. Togba goes forward, or not called, excuse me. Togba goes forward. Here's a strike. Hansen plays over for Jamel Cox. I figured if that one was going to end up as a goal, there was going to be a challenge flag thrown. John up the wall for Hansen, who plays back for Clayson De Lima. In behind. De Lima gets two hands to it, pushes it away. John turns it with his chest. Ramos takes it over. Caceres with time and space around him. Tayu looking for the long ball. Reads it well off the glass.
This is a great matchup right here.
Plays off the wall, falls back to him. The man in the gold shoes, he is the king of the golden boot. More points than anybody in MASL. He has earned to wear golden shoes when he plays indoor soccer. Inward pass. Tayu turns. It's just missed off the near post. Great thrown out ball from Nascimento. Left foot strike. It's well wide from Santana. Briscoe goes flying through it. O'Keefe does a good enough job. That's going to be a three-line clearance. It's called all the way back. The Stars going to have to defend a free kick here.
Three-line pass.
Michaud has an assist already. Excuse me, he's got 2 assists today. Here he is standing over the ball. SK standing down by the goal line where he missed an opportunity earlier. Torrealba couldn't get his pass across. Rivers chests this ball into the direction of De Lima. Nestor Hernandez with a sprinting run off to the bench. Tyler John slides on into the attack.
And once again, the Ambush have done a good job of kind of eating some of this pressure that's built up, especially after the power play. They've settled things down and gotten back into their defensive unit.
Briscoe, good touching. Uzi Tayu couldn't get on the end of the ball off the glass. Mendoza plays back. A little more creativity than we saw in the first half. This is John, heel flick for Cox.
Oh, you saw the blueprint just inches away from being spectacular. This is really well worked from the home side. Can they capitalize though? They've got plenty of time and plenty of confidence to do so.
Ball played in for Tyler John. He's trying to turn and face the goal. Wants a shot. There's a good ball in from Cox. John chases it down. Now he's going to want to try and win it back defensively. Caceres, it's past him. SK off the wall, wide open, backside of body. Clayson De Lima makes another massive save.
And he knows it. I love to see a goalkeeper in form. And that celebration right there says it all.
Fans, tonight the Stars in the ambush are wearing throwback jerseys. Both these jerseys are made by ProTime Sports, and you can win your favorite player or players from either team. Game-worn jerseys can be auctioned on by scanning the QR code on the screen, placing your bid in our live source auction. Win one or win them all, it's up to you. Good luck. Look at those sharp kits that are available for auction. Tacoma Stars trail the St. Louis ambush 3-2. We'll step aside and be right back with third quarter action right after this on MASL TV.
Out here in the Pacific Northwest, every jersey is made with care right here at home. Crafted for the Tacoma Stars and teams across the nation. Built to perform on the big stage. I'm proud to wear ProTime Sports, the official uniform supplier of the Tacoma Stars.
Go Stars!
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
Capelli Sport is the official and exclusive preferred uniform and apparel provider of the Major Arena Soccer League. Visit MASL Soccer to shop the all-new MASL fan store for the latest MASL and team gear. Tacoma Stars have to defend a corner kick here. Peyton Barron's Cole Weaver, Clayson De Lima has had some incredible saves in this third quarter, but the job's not done yet. 5:32 to play here just before we get to fourth quarter action. SK with a strike from the yellow line. It's deflected away. Amadi chases it down. Here's Torrealba in and behind. De Lima. He's everywhere. Whistle blown, foul called. De Lima comes off of his line. Ball skies in the air. He's still able to get a slap to it. Cole, this is incredible goalkeeping.
The feeling as a goalkeeper, when you're in that zone, and every player understands the zone, but as a goalkeeper, let me just tell you, it is a whole different feeling. You feel unstoppable. Every time a shot comes your way, you know you're going to get a hand on and get a save. It's an incredible feeling. De Lima is definitely in the zone right now.
The Clayson De Lima auction jersey is going to be skyrocketing. That is some hefty stock tonight.
Heck, I might be buying one at this point.
Williamson with a good header forward. Cox sends this all the way back for De Lima. Let's see him cash in a goal and just have an all well-rounded night.
I'm here for it, Peyton.
Yuri gets a head on one, straight up in the air. Ramos runs onto it. Forward for Tayu. Tayu off the wall, trying to time it with a runner. Mendoza the closest man. Tayu with a little toe poke. Nascimento catches and wanted to distribute quickly. I love his play style, Paolo Nascimento. Two great goalkeepers on display tonight.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Goalkeepers are such an integral part of this game. So much more heavily involved than the outdoor version that we play.
Yuri crosses the ball. Gates not there. Gates wanted it on his right, found it. Confusion in front of the bench. Jamel Cox was trying to combo there with Hansen. Hansen, I think, wanted to go for a change until he saw the ball going his way. Hansen goes sliding. This ball stays forward for Torrealba. Outside the foot pass. De Lima with another swipe. Strike goes wide. De Lima retreats. Challenge flag. I think that's going to be so to see whether or not De Lima was out of his area when he got a hand on that ball. So there could be a handling called.
Yeah, this is going to go to all the camera angles we can get. It's close.
We'll likely see Beretta start to get ready just in case if he's called into action.
St. Louis is challenging for a missed handball and blue card on the goalkeeper.
And my first reaction was the first save was fine, and then there was kind of a second stab at it where he thought about going again. Oh, no, he's fine. I think he's fine. It's that one right there. I wasn't sure if he was going to
You think that ball's on the line or within the boundaries of the line?
I think he first makes contact inside the box.
But if he follows through with the contact outside the box, then clearly that's handed.
This is true.
So now we need to see where the contact with the ball ends, because I agree with you. He does make contact inside the box to begin with, but look at the momentum carrying him forward.
So I think the camera angle doesn't do him any service, though, because the contact's already made and his hand is continuing in the pathway that the ball took, but you can't really see if he's still touching it. And as a goalkeeper myself, when you make contact with the ball, it's not like you're holding it the whole way through.
So when we have seen some kind of goal line decisions in the previous game that we had, where Danny Waltman was in the net, maybe this was 2 home games ago, but Danny Waltman, and we couldn't tell where the ball had actually crossed the line. Okay, this is a great look at where the contact is, and it looks like we got a decision made quickly.
I think he's good. I think he's fine.
After you, the call on the field stands. St. Louis loses their challenge flag.
Fan Soccer Signal is your home for in-depth data analysis, comprehensive breakdowns, and exclusive interviews from coaches around the league. Don't miss Soccer Signal every other Thursday on MASL TV. So St. Louis loses their challenge here in the third quarter, unsuccessful. Unfortunate for them because, I mean, that's a game-changing play right there. Hopefully that they don't have a situation later on in the game where they desperately need that challenge flag.
Yeah, absolutely, and the De Lima show continues. Doing great work at the edge of his box, scrambling around. Again, a swipe on the ball and keeping it legal.
He's standing on his head right now. It's like a Connor Hellebuck right now from the U.S. men's hockey team, the Olympics. Hellebuck was a monster. Now we're seeing Clayson De Lima do that as well. Torrealba puts it on his left. De Lima with another push away. Hernandez trying to go up the wall, but there's an ambush swarming around him. And a delay of game warning, a bench warning, is issued to St. Louis.
Your attention, please. A bench warning has been issued to the St. Louis ambush.
Briscoe to Tayu. His touch takes him to the wall.
This is a matchup I'd love to see more this evening.
Tayu double teamed in the corner. Williamson goes to ground. Tayu just walking past him. Williamson still on the ground. It's going to be a free kick for the Tacoma Stars.
Just 2 big men, strong in their own rights. Tayu unrelenting in his possession. Williamson unrelenting in the space.
Taking another look at it.
Yeah, you can see him. He went to ground early and made contact.
Rafael Cox takes a touch. He has it on his left. Space closed. Wasn't able to get one off before the defender. Togbo was right in front of him. Cox plays inward for Tayu. Tayu trying to get around a double team. Didn't have the runners or support around him. Correa wins the ball off of Falsani. Under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Here's a one-on-one opportunity. Tayu lays off for Mendoza. He pockets it. There's Nani Mendoza. Timey with Frank Tayu. The run was timed to perfection. The subtle pass. Frank Tayu just a perfect post-up play. And the Stars are level at 3.
And that's what you get when you have a target forward like Tayu that can create so much space around him and has the wherewithal to just lay that ball off, and Nani Mendoza does his job perfectly. You called it earlier in terms of him being one of the game changers of the night, and he's the one to level things here with 1:40 to play in the third quarter, 3-3.
For Mendoza, first goal of the night.
Top of the arc, on the right foot, shot deflected away. It was Santana who had the opportunity. Under 90 seconds to play here in the third quarter, and the Stars have clawed their way back. Strike De Lima with a good punch. And we saw something vaguely similar when St. Louis was here in January. They were able to get themselves a couple of goal cushion at halftime. The Stars outscored them 4-2 in the second half to send things to overtime 6-6. Uzi Tayu in the corner. I think he's trying to win an Oscar there against the glass. And they're essentially calling a frozen ball as it was pinned between players. It's going to be awarded to St. Louis, but Uzi Tayu was looking for a foul that he had no business trying to draw. Ball played in off the glass. Hansen just boots it out of bounds. I think St. Louis just played that so they didn't get the 5-second call on the restart.
Yeah, and I see Adam Becker on the bench with the challenge flag in his hand. He thought about it. He's putting it away now.
Top of the arc restart after the clearance was out of the defensive area. Maybe Becker was looking for 6 men on the field, too many men. Left foot strike, De Lima gets a save on it. We've come to expect that now. Whistle blown, and I don't love that call. 43 seconds to play, but I don't think Yuri Romero had much contact in that situation, and it was more slipping on the carpet in the corner.
Yeah, no more contact than we've seen throughout the course of the game. A little soft there.
Ball played in the middle. SK mistimes it. Torrealba, no. Kyle Rivers is out on the run. Rivers takes a strike from distance. He didn't think he was going to outrun the retreating defense.
Oh, if that ball had fallen just a little bit more kindly, I think Kyle Rivers does outrun the defense. He had to slow down just to bring it under his spell. He's probably one of the names at the top of the list you'd want on a fast break. He is lightning quick.
Cato trying to turn Briscoe. Mistimes his ball. Hernandez now in a foot race. Hernandez wins it. Hernandez, support to his left. Kai Briscoe was the overlapping run. Couldn't get the pass off. O'Keefe with a great touch and turn. Caceres takes a look at the clock as he goes to win that ball. Tried to knock it to Rafael Cox. There's under 10 seconds to play. St. Louis is going to want to just kill out this clock. Nascimento pushes it to the corner. We've reached the end of 3 quarters, and there's nothing to separate these two sides. We got an all-time showdown yet again between these two teams. We saw it in January. We saw a good game in St. Louis in February. We're seeing another good one tonight at the ShoWare Center. Fans, tonight both these teams' jerseys are up for auction. Both the Stars and Ambush are wearing throwback Pro Time Sports jerseys, and you can win your favorite player or players from either side. Game worn jerseys are available by simply scanning the QR code on your screen and placing your bid in our live source auction. Win one or win them all, it's up to you. Good luck and happy bidding. The auction ends at midnight tomorrow night. Tacoma Stars, St. Louis Ambush, 3 goals apiece, 15 minutes of regulation to play. We'll step aside and take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. The 4th quarter is on the way next right here on MASL TV.
Welcome to Zenith Sports and Techie. I'm Paul Hansen.
And I'm Philip Luns. So what's special about the Techie ball is a size 3, but a weight of a size 5, which would make it challenging and fun to use. Like Paul said, doing practices on your own time.
What I know about this ball is whether you're starting out at age 5, or you're an old fart like me, or a younger fart like Philip. This ball is something that's going to take your ability when you practice with it and then go use a regulation ball. It's going to increase your comfort, increase your technical ability, increase your speed. Welcome to Techie.
Welcome back into the accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's, Cole Weaver, Tacoma Stars, and it's their regular season home finale. So it's fan appreciation night, it's alumni night. Everybody's here at the ShoWare Center. It's a great night to be around the Tacoma Stars. Right now, our mini ball toss that takes place between the 3rd and 4th quarter, and as always, we get help from the local kids attending the game to help clean up our mini balls, and there's a lot of them in attendance tonight. Should be a rather quick cleanup, efficient work from the Tacoma Stars and staff.
Yeah, no kidding. I look down to respond to a quick message. I look up, and all the balls in the field are already gone.
These kids are efficient and make quick work out of it. Tacoma Stars right now tied 3-3 with the St. Louis Ambush after being able to bag a pair of goals in that third quarter. They went into the locker room, down 3-1 at halftime, played well defensively, played well on the offensive side, and they got themselves level.
Yeah, I could talk about Clayson De Lima for a long time. I mean, it's the stuff of dreams as a goalkeeper. You know, we talked about the union that they have, 2 number ones in their own right. When you don't get the nod, naturally you're a little frustrated. You know, you want your counterpart to do well, but then when you have the chance to step in, you want to show your best stuff, and safe to say he has shown his absolute best stuff. But he's got more work to do, 1 quarter left, and they're going to need it as they look to complete this pretty amazing comeback.
We saw a little bit of theatrics last game here at the ShoWare Center. We mentioned it already, but Nani Mendoza was able to score a goal with just 3 seconds left on the clock that ended up forcing overtime. And so it was an incredible performance then. We will see what the Tacoma Stars can do now. Jamel Cox has 2 goals. Nani Mendoza's got himself a goal. Tayu got the assist on the Mendoza goal, and that's what you need. You need a guy like Frank Tayu to be able to step in and get points when points matter the most. On the other side of things for St. Louis, Tori Alba had the first goal. It was assisted by Mashad. There was a power play goal for Amadi that was assisted by Briggs. And Eske got himself on the goal sheet. Mashad, second assist on the night with that one.
Yeah, I expect Frank Tayu to be heavily involved, and something that we were thinking about pregame. He's 8 points away from becoming the first MASL player to reach 600 regular season points. He's already broken so many records throughout the course of his career, and he's staring at another one. 8 points tonight would be a pretty incredible haul with 1 quarter remaining, to say the least. But they look to chip away at that and get a very important 3 points for his side.
Perhaps it's all the more motivation for Frank Tayu to re-sign with the Tacoma Stars for next season.
That's a good point.
Nascimento sees a little bit of space. He wants to go forward. This is Falsani. Amadi looks for a strike. De Lima with another great save. Takes up a lot of space in that goal, Clayson De Lima. Long ball played down the line. Uzi Tayu trots over to get himself on the ball. Gets himself between the ball and Randy Martinez. Martinez hits the ground. Foul's going to be called on Kyle Rivers. St. Louis hasn't scored since the 4-minute, 26-second mark of the first half. Second quarter, just under 5 minutes to play. Eske was able to score. Find the third for the ambush. It was a quiet third quarter. Togba gets a shot. It falls kindly, and a strike here in the fourth. It's Ozzy Santana. That ball could not have fallen nicer to him.
Yeah, the heroics of De Lima couldn't get it done this time. As we see the ball, as you mentioned, Peyton, it's a scuffed shot. Ozzy just finds himself in that perfect position. The touch is clean. The finish is great. And it's a much-needed goal for the visitors to get their noses back in front. 4-3, the ambush lead.
Fourth goal scored by number 70, Ozzy Santana. For Santana, first goal of the night. Fourth goal of the season.
A lot of talk tonight about the Tacoma Stars and how they need to find themselves in the playoff picture. But while St. Louis already has their playoff spot wrapped up, Cox down into the corner now. Cox gets a whistle called and a foul in favor for the Tacoma Stars. St. Louis has some very important playoff positioning happening on the table where they can find themselves with the games that they have in hand, jumping all sorts of different places and seeds within the MASL Ron Newman Cup playoffs. Cox with a strike. Deflected down well. Here's a breakout run. It's O'Keefe. Cox in a foot race. O'Keefe takes the strike. De Lima with another save. Second strike wide. Michaud. De Lima in one-on-one situations is a brick wall.
Inevitable. O'Keefe decides to go himself. He definitely thought about the square pass, and I think it probably was the best decision considering the goalkeeping form that he's up against. Spreads himself well. Gets down to make another big save.
Ramos. He's going to walk this ball forward. Tyler John plays back for Hansen. Ramos. Shot hits Uzi Tayu on the way through. This ball cleared out. De Lima has some space. Tyler John. Williamson behind him. Hansen. So we talked about the low shooting numbers earlier for the Tacoma Stars. The first quarter, they were only able to register 2 shots on goal. Jamel Cox runs through, his shot deflected and blocked. There is only 11 shots on goal so far tonight for the Tacoma Stars, 2 of them happening in the first quarter. They were able to register 4 in the second quarter, and they were able to get 4 in the third quarter with just 1 now in this fourth quarter. But it has been a low volume shooting night for the Tacoma Stars.
Yeah, things have definitely improved over the night. I think that's an understatement.
Ambush go forward again. Ball into the middle. De Lima, it's through his legs. He still manages to make the first save. Second time effort, not quite as lucky, but the Stars have been taking pressure from the St. Louis ambush, and Amadi gets his second of the night on the second time effort. De Lima went low. He was able to do just enough on the first one. Unfortunate that the Stars weren't able to clear and keep that ball out of the net.
Yeah, and De Lima did the best that he could again. He needed some help from his team. Chase Hansen kind of turns his back away, and it ricochets off of his heel. De Lima's on the ground. Oh, it actually goes through Chase Hansen's legs off of De Lima. And De Lima, with the form he's in, he'll look back on that and say to himself, I should have gotten my hands on that and pinned it. That's holding himself to a pretty high standard. To make the first save alone was already incredible. But the Stars need to get some of that momentum back as they now trail 3-5.
So scoreless in the third quarter, the St. Louis ambush. 2 goals in the opening 3.5 minutes to start this fourth quarter. Briscoe getting hugged from behind. He's going to go for a change. Thought about it. Stays on the field now. Ends up getting the ball by the midway stripe.
Ambush holding a really good shape here.
Ramos turned the ball over. He was lucky to get it back. Tayu. Briscoe now. Briscoe gets taken off of his feet. Tayu plays Briscoe up and through. Briscoe gets around Gates. He crashes through Riley Uri. Turnover, and it's St. Louis ball. De Lima thought about picking that up, maybe unsure who it was last played off of. I don't think the Stars would have got called on a goalkeeper back pass there. But better safe than sorry, and De Lima off the field. 6 attacker enters the field of play, and it's Jamel Cox in the pink shirt. A lot of time to play. Tyler John with a strike. It's wide. It falls to the sixth attacker, Jamel Cox.
Yeah, and still plenty of time left in the game. I don't hate the move. I am maybe a little bit surprised given how they have been playing, but clearly Adam Becker felt like a change was needed. Sixth attacker will definitely do the trick. Whether for better or for worse is to be determined. High risk, high reward.
I like the strategy. Maybe get a goal now, play even strength for a couple more minutes before you have to rely on the sixth attacker for an extended period of time. Here's Cox. Crosses over the yellow line, brings it back. Looks for Caceres, switches out Adrian Correa now.
Emphasis on get the goal early.
Cox with a strike, it's too high. Romero chests it down. He's off the glass. Tyler John just misses on the header. Cox stays with the ball forward. Cox to the corner. Cox sets it for Taiyu. Great block by Williamson. Taiyu had an open goal in the bouncing ball. Nearly was able to pocket it home, but Williamson did just enough. Correa taken off his feet. Wants to go forward. Plays Yair Romero. St. Louis caught out on a sub. Tyler John. John with a shot. Williamson another block. Handling going to be called on Williamson.
Wow, that is a little harsh, I think. I was watching that play develop, and I saw the handball, but his hands were basically on his chest. And as you mentioned earlier, Peyton, they don't have a challenge. This will stand no matter what.
Caceres, six attackers on the field. Nascimento is going to rush forward and join the wall. He's in front of the wall now. At what point can you then blow the whistle and either remove the wall or get Nascimento back? It's a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here. This isn't our media timeout. 8:07 to play. The St. Louis Ambush lead by 2. The Stars have a really good opportunity here to be able to net a goal and get one back. Great stuff that we're seeing at the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent. Fans, if you disagree with the call tonight, you might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review, with Phil Levanco and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday night on YouTube. And that call right there is one that you thought might be worth a challenge. I mean, either way, even if St. Louis were to challenge it, the handling would still be shown and the call in the field would likely still be upheld. But now that you kind of thought about it, seen it, do you still think the challenge flag would be thrown here if you're St. Louis and had one?
You know, I think they would throw it if they had it because, you know, we're at this point in the game, you're kind of at a point where you would, a 50-50 scenario like that, what's the worst that can happen? You lose your challenge and then so what? But the fact that they don't even have the option to do it is really the more important thing here. And I like the move from Caceres to call that timeout and allow them to actually draw something up here. I'm curious if Nascimento is going to have a starting position so high like he did before.
And we've seen teams across MASL do this season, is that goalkeeper does come up and tries to join the wall. But I don't think it's been as successful as teams think it is. I know that Luis Beretta has done it about twice so far this year at home, and it's counted on them both times.
Yeah, I agree. As a goalkeeper, you lose your ability to react if you're staying up high, and you can be taken out of the play with a pass, whereas any pass, you can still remain a part of the defensive unit. It looks like he is going to start pretty high.
I play this ball to Mendoza. Oh, it's with Ramos, and he scores! Yet again, the goalkeeper comes off the line, and they give up the goal on the free kick. There's no reason to be doing that in this situation. The Tacoma Stars benefit from it. Nascimento gives up the goal. The Tacoma Stars are back within one.
And it's just like we talked about it not even 30 seconds ago. When you start in a high position like the goalkeeper there, a simple pass completely removes him from the play. If he's back in his goal, or at least in a halfway position, he has the ability to actually pivot himself over and make the save. But because he started so high, he had no opportunity whatsoever, and it was fairly simple from the Stars. They close the deficit at 4-5. De Lima re-enters the pitch. We've got a Hollywood finish on our hands here, Peyton.
And it's what we've expected now with these Tacoma Stars when they're playing at home. Tyler John's on the breakout. SK is trying to trail. John brings it back, sees that there's numbers behind. De Lima's back in the goal. So now I presume that the Stars got their goal with a little bit of time. De Lima's going to stay out here till maybe the 4-minute mark, and then you'll see the 6th attacker if this score stays the same. But right there, that 6th attacker that Becker called on worked out for the Tacoma Stars.
Yes, it did. Absolutely. And Jamel Cox doesn't even have the pink jersey on, so they're not even considering bringing him back out for that role. They're going to remain at full strength.
Correa's in behind. Nascimento's off his line. Amadi plays this ball forward. It's well hit, well timed. Here's this ball forward. Ramos chasing it down. Martinez battling with Mike Ramos. De Lima swings. Caceres. A lot of high pressure here for St. Louis. Ball up the boards. Rafael Cox chases it. SK wins it. Caceres now for Correa. Look at this high press from St. Louis.
Yeah,
they realize they got a game in less than 24 hours.
It's impressive. They know how to play one way and one way only.
De Lima looks over to the bench. Jamel Cox tells him to stay, hold. Like you said, doesn't even have the pink shirt on. Jamel Cox jumps on the field at even strength. This is Tayu. Inward ball played for Mendoza, brought back out for Hansen. This is Tayu turning. Cox runs onto it. Togba with a great touch. Becker's trying to call De Lima forward. He wants him into the attack with Cox on the field. Or at least playing a higher position.
Yeah, you mentioned it when he made that substitute at halftime. A little bit more of an attacking goalkeeper presence.
Romero looks at going at Togba. This is Hansen. Under 6 minutes to play here. In regulation, at least. Tayu back for Caceres.
Important to note, Williamson's not on the pitch right now. Tayu has maybe a little bit of a better matchup from a size point of view. See if we can get him on the ball. Here he is.
Tayu, a businessman, looking to go to work. Off the glass, it's a little bit high for a redirect. Caceres heads it back towards Jamel Cox. Gates is trying to trap this ball down. Didn't have a whole lot of room between the wall and himself. St. Louis caught out, taking another change. There might have been an instance with too many men on the field during that change. St. Louis had to scramble. Can't believe the Stars weren't able to take advantage of it again.
Yeah, it worked out for them. They needed fresh legs. That group was working so hard defensively.
O'Keefe goes forward. O'Keefe tried to play a low ball. Deflected away from Romero. Carpet comes up. Whistle's going to be blown. It's a foul on the Tacoma Stars. And nothing to do with anything with the carpet coming up. Said they pulled him to the ground by the shoulders. Torrealba. SK. Williamson back on. Stars can't give up a goal here, and they do! Torrealba with nearly the dagger. He shares his thoughts with the crowd. Comes in here, gets the 6th goal of the night for the St. Louis Ambush, and that's going to take us into the media timeout. What a time for the St. Louis Ambush to get their 6th. There's some words being shared on the field right now. The Tacoma Stars didn't like what the Ambush had to say to our fans. And before we head off to the media timeout, we'd like to remind you that we're doing a double jersey auction tonight. Both the Stars and the Ambush are wearing throwback Pro Time Sports jerseys, and you can win your favorite player or players from both teams. Game-worn jerseys by simply scanning the QR code on the screen and placing your bid on the live source auction. Win one or win them all, it's up to you. Good luck. We'll step aside and be right back with the remainder of the 4th quarter right after this on MASL TV.
Welcome to Zenith Sports and Techie. I'm Paul Hansen.
And I'm Philip Luns. So what's special about the Techie ball is a size 3, but a weight of a size 5, which would make it challenging and fun to use. Like Paul said, doing practices on your own time.
What I know about this ball is whether you're starting out at age 5, or you're an old fart like me, or a younger fart like Philip. This ball is something that's going to take your ability when you practice with it and then go use a regulation ball. It's going to increase your comfort, increase your technical ability, increase your speed. Welcome to Techie.
7-4-0.
Fans catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV, on YouTube, and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bashavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. The Stars are trailing by 2 currently, and their playoff hopes are on the line with this game and just one more remaining. They have to get some help from the Empire Strikers, or granted elsewhere around the league, because they trailed the Empire Strikers by 2 points. Granted that tonight's loss will not knock them out of the playoffs, but the Empire Strikers go on the road to Utica tomorrow, and that game could see the Tacoma Stars knocked out of the playoffs if they fall here to the St. Louis ambush.
Yeah, the Stars are going to start with 6th attacker Jamel Cox right away, as it is required, but 4.5 minutes is a long time in indoor, and things can change in an instant.
I think the theory here is knock the ball around, try and tire out the legs of St. Louis so you have a chance to get 2 in the final 2 minutes. Be patient with the attacks that you have. Mendoza, Cox.
Yeah, it goes without being said, but patience is key. The last thing they could afford is some silly mistake and an easy goal.
Ramos on the full, hits it over. Cox needs to make it all the way over to the bench. De Lima back on. And Cox, I think, set up in a bad position. He's on the far side of the field, which makes it even that much more challenging for him to sub and get the goalkeeper on. He needs to stay on the bench side of the field for easy substitutions.
Yeah, it's difficult because the other side of the coin there, he's so dangerous with the ball rolling across his face and being able to strike it with his right. That's how he scored his 2nd of the evening tonight. So I think he was trying to set himself up for one of those kind of opportunities.
Briscoe battling. Martinez did a good job winning that header while he was still in a seated position. De Lima drops this ball at Hansen's feet. Cox is going to jump back on the field.
The Tacoma Stars have brought in a 6th attacker, number 11, Jamel Cox.
Cox starts himself at the center position. Romero getting crushed in the challenge.
Number 66.
Stars are going to take their time to get this ball reset and back in play, try and catch their breath. Here's Romero.
I mean, he may not like that a foul's being called, but what harm does it do? It gives them a little bit more time to rest their legs. There's no blue card that came from it. It's kind of a tactical foul, if anything.
3 minutes to play. Mendoza, Caceres. Long ball over the top of Ramos. Settled in the middle, Tyler John! Trying to do everything he could to get through that ball and push it into the goal. Nascimento stands tall. De Lima retreated back to the goal. Tyler John trying to pick a pocket. He does so. Frank Tayu on possession. Brings it back for Hansen. Stars going to settle quickly so they can get the 6th attacker out.
And 4.5 minutes is quickly turned into 2. I mentioned it's a long time, but time can go by very quickly when it doesn't feel productive.
Caceres over for Mendoza. Minute 50 to play. Stars running out of time. Not a lot of shots getting with a man up.
There's just no gaps in this stout ambush defense. They're working really well as a unit.
Tayu with a little bit of space. Tayu plays outside for Ramos. Trying to get past Williamson. Long ball hit from distance. Does it have the accuracy? No, it's just a foot wide. Ambush go on a big change. Tayu with a strike, and he skies it. Stars need a miracle here to see if they can get the mojo going. There's a timeout on the floor.
This is a 60-second.
The lights are bright and the fans are loud. It's the St. Louis Ambush taking on the Tacoma Stars. Stream it live on maslplus.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again. Make sure to favorite your team to get instant updates on every game.
It's time for the Tacoma Stars. See, I'm coming up on that minute more you have to do. There we go. Slap those comments. Yeah. Right here. No, they're over here.
Last game of the night across MASL is taking place currently. Tomorrow, Empire's at Utica. That is a 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific kickoff. Baltimore is at Milwaukee for a 4 p.m. Eastern kickoff. And this St. Louis Ambush team heads on down to San Diego for a 7 p.m. Eastern time kickoff. And St. Louis Ambush, who already have a playoff spot clinched, have games in hand. If they get points here, they'll find themselves climbing the leaderboard up to 37 points on the season. Then they have an opportunity to play San Diego. If they get a win in that game tomorrow, they're going to find themselves in really good positioning. All those games tomorrow outside of Utica have playoff implications on the line for the individual teams.
Let's go.
If this result holds, the Tacoma Stars, if they fall to the St. Louis Ambush, they need Utica to be able to pull out a win against the Empire Strikers tomorrow to keep their season hopes alive. If that is the case, if the Empire Strikers don't end the Tacoma Stars season tomorrow, the Tacoma Stars have the opportunity to go to Baltimore next week, top of the table Baltimore, sitting in at 39 points, with a 7-3-1 home record. And the Tacoma Stars have to try and do the improbable of topping Baltimore on the road. This Tacoma Stars side has one road win, and it's just last week against the Empire Strikers. A 6-3 road victory. De Lima calls the timeout. The Stars are going to talk this over, be able to get a sixth attacker on the field. So a lot can play out here in these remaining few days of MASL play.
This is the perfect opportunity for a dance camp. Yeah, let's go. Everybody on your feet. Let's dance. Let's go. Rick Astley. Gonna rickroll our own fans.
St. Louis Ambush have every player in the middle of the field talking things over currently. Tacoma Stars are in their own bench, drawing up around Adam Becker with the clipboard. St. Louis needs to hold strong for about 63 more seconds to be able to notch another road victory. A very split team when it comes to home and away. 6-3-2 at home, 5-3-1 on the road, looking to make it 6-3-1 tonight on the road. Some other key matchups to look for in the remainder of this incredible MASL campaign that we're seeing this season. San Diego still got to play Kansas City one more time. That's going to be Sunday, March 29th. St. Louis and Empire face off that night. And that game could have seeding and or playoff berth implications. Tayu in the middle, couldn't win it. This ball's played up the wall for Gates. Gates is forward. Gates is in behind. Cox is making the run all the way back. Gates into the empty net. The St. Louis Ambush put the extra point on. Gates gives a wave to the crowd. He says sayonara. It's all but over here at the ShoWare Center. Gates just runs this ball down, passes into the empty net. 40 seconds remain. St. Louis goes up 3. And the Stars aren't able to get it done at home tonight. They're going to have to rely on help from Utica City tomorrow to keep things alive. Cox trying to play inward for Taiyu. John, his header finding the boot of Robert Williamson. It stays in play magically off the top of the glass. Mendoza chases this all the way down to the back half of the field. Ramos off the windows. Cox runs onto it. His strike gets deflected away. 5 seconds remain. Gates sends this ball down the other way. He sends a fist pump into the crowd, and the St. Louis Ambush on the road are victorious here against the Tacoma Stars. It's been an incredible night of indoor soccer. The St. Louis Ambush add some points to their tally. They're clinched for the Ron Newman Cup playoffs. They're looking to climb with games in hand. And they got themselves an exciting one on the way tomorrow against the San Diego Sockers. Ambush 7, Tacoma Stars 4. It was a big third quarter for the Tacoma Stars. They weren't able to continue building off of that. Cole Weaver down on the field. We'll wait for his post-game interview. But Tacoma now, not a whole lot of hope going into the rest of the weekend. Control out of their hands. Need to rely on Empire versus Utica tomorrow night to go in the right direction, just to keep them alive for another day. Baltimore is going to face off against Milwaukee tomorrow, and that's one that has top of the table implications on the line. St. Louis, San Diego, who now find themselves within 1 point of each other. It's getting tight at the top of the table for those sides. They're battling for a Ron Newman Cup championship. Tacoma Stars cap off their regular season here at home at the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent. 8-4 at home. Unfortunately, 1-9-1 on the road this season. It has not been a great time for the Tacoma Stars when they are away from the ShoWare Center. They started out hot, 5-0 at home this year. Led them to 3-3 down the stretch, playing at home. And Cole Weaver's patiently standing by, waiting for our post-game interview with goalkeeper Clayson De Lima. They're gathered together now. De Lima had himself one heck of a game, standing on his head time and time again. Let's hear from Clayson De Lima and Cole Weaver down on the field right now.
Clayson, obviously a tough game overall. You know, the first half wasn't quite what you guys wanted in terms of coming out of the game. Real quick, just wanted to know, what was the message at halftime? Because you guys came out rocking. What was Adam Becker saying to you guys?
Obviously, that we had to just perform better, you know. And we came out, I think we started the third quarter a little bit better, got some goals. Unfortunately, it didn't go all the way, but, you know, now it's hope to Empire drop some points tomorrow, and we still have a chance. Go out in Baltimore, beat Baltimore, and still can go through.
Now you sit on your head, right? As a goalkeeper, getting in that zone and feeling like anything that comes your way, you're going to get a hand on, get a save. How are you feeling as you kind of stepped out in the second half and were making some really incredible saves?
I mean, I wish I was feeling better if we had got the win, you know. I would have gave up all the saves that I made for the win, but unfortunately, it didn't go all the way, like I said. But now it's time to work throughout the week, and like I said, hope Empire drops some points tomorrow, and we go out in Baltimore, perform, and get the win, and hopefully we go through.
Admirable answer as goalkeeper. Well, good luck to you. Go get some rest, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cole. Thanks, Clayson. We'll step aside, take a quick break, and be back with highlights of tonight's game and everything else to cap up our home finale here at the Accesso ShoWare Center, right here on MASL TV.
Out here in the Pacific Northwest, every jersey is made with care right here at home. Crafted for the Tacoma Stars and teams across the nation. Built to perform on the big stage. I'm proud to wear Prototype Sports, the official uniform supplier of the Tacoma Stars.
Go Stars! Remember the high school glory days of throwing that touchdown, tattooing a home run, or scoring that game-winning goal? It's time to relive the experience at comebacksports.com. Comeback Sport is the adult sports league with big-time venues, certified refs, video highlights, and post-game grub and drink specials at sponsor bars. Register as a team or individual now. Come back to the glory days. Comebacksports.com. Comebacksports.com.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.
Welcome back into the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Behrens, Cole Weaver. Tacoma Stars fall to the St. Louis ambush 7-4. Unfortunate night for the Tacoma Stars. They need help from across the league. They weren't able to get done what they wanted to tonight. It opened up all St. Louis ambush in that first quarter. Unfortunate things for the Tacoma Stars. Unfortunate play all around. Unfortunately, did not get the result that they needed.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it's been the story of the season. Stars are starting a little bit shaky, unforced errors, really silly goals, unnecessary blue cards, and then they have to really fight tooth and nail for the rest of the game just to stay in it. You eliminate some of those mistakes and some of those errors, they're winning a lot of these games. And so, you know, the goals that they scored were really high qualities. We're seeing that strike there from Jamel Cox, but not enough in the end. You know, the sixth attacker came on late and wasn't able to really be too profitable.
Tacoma Stars weren't able to get things going. Here's Jamel Cox going forward. Some of these highlights. Tayu sets up Mendoza here. And unfortunately, that was the end of the night for those Tacoma Stars. Excuse me, Ramos was able to get himself one more. But the Stars just fell short. It seemed like they lost all sorts of momentum after that third quarter. They were able to try and get one back, but those two goals in the fourth quarter were huge. The one from Santana, the one from Amati. This is that goal that we thought the Tacoma Stars were going to bring things back 5-4, but really just ran out of juice there late. Weren't able to do what they wanted to. 7-4 is how that sits. St. Louis ambush. Cap things off with an empty netter. Cole, not the night the Tacoma Stars wanted, not the way that they wanted to end their regular season finale here at the Accesso ShoWare Center, and unfortunately things are out of their hands as the season moves forward. Utica, Empire tomorrow. Utica needs to win that game there for the Tacoma Stars to feel hopeful going into their final game of the season.
Yeah, it's a tough place to be. You never want to be relying on another team to get the job done, and you know, with all due respect to Utica, the team at the bottom of the standing that is already out of the playoff race. That might, I don't know, to be a little bit positive, teams that are kind of out of it and they can play with freedom without any sort of pressure or repercussions, you never know. I mean, this is a funny game, and any team can beat any other team at any given moment. So the Stars will be watching intently, and I think regardless of the result, they'll go out and play hard next Saturday.
Well, MASL fans, we thank you so much for joining in with us on this regular season. It's been a great one. We've seen some incredible highlights, and if we don't see you again for the playoffs here from the Accesso ShoWare Center, we thank you so much for tuning in to our broadcast of the Major Arena Soccer League here on MASL TV. I'd like to thank everyone at Mission Control for making every single night possible. You guys are the backbone of everything that we do on this broadcast, and Cole and I would not be able to do what we do without all of the help of our technical crew being able to produce this broadcast. So a big thank you to them, a big thank you to ownership and the front office for having us in here for this regular season, our incredible comms director, Pete Richmeyer, for being able to piece things together left and right each and every week for us. So a huge thank you to everyone here at the Tacoma Stars with the accesso ShoWare Center and all of you who have tuned in all season long. For my broadcast partner Cole Weaver, I'm Peyton Behrens. For one last time here in the regular season, we hope we see you in the playoffs, but if we don't, good night, MASL TV.
Welcome to Zenith Sports and Techie. I'm Paul Hansen.
And I'm Philip Luns. So what's special about the Techie ball is a size 3, but a weight of a size 5, which would make it challenging and fun to use. Like Paul said, doing practices on your own time.
What I know about this ball is whether you're starting out at age 5, or you're an old fart like me, or a younger fart like Philip. This ball is something that's going to take your ability when you practice with it and then go use a regulation ball. It's going to increase your comfort, increase your technical ability, increase your speed. Welcome to Techie.
Daytech is an IT enterprise infrastructure provider covering networking, security, and more. Email us at sales@daytechinc.net to learn more about Daytech.